the only thing.
We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
What do you want to do now, Cap?
The same thing we always do. Fight them until we can't.
Well, that's right. We are going to fight them until we can't. And it's October 31st, 2024. If I wanted to tell you guys that I'm all happy-go-lucky, well, honestly, I'm not. It's a bittersweet day because today would have been Mama Heretic's 82nd birthday. Mom, I miss you. And I guess if there was one thing I could say, if Mom were here right now, because she'd be happy that I was doing the show and everything else. But I just want to say, Mom, I'm sorry. Things haven't turned out great. But all that you need to know is I'm going to keep trying. So, shout out to Mama Heretic on her heavenly birthday. Happy 82, Mom. And I know you're still watching over me. Well, we have a guest, you guys. And I'm going to bring this wonderful woman on here in a minute because, she's part of the DNA of this show. She's been one of my strongest supporters and friends forever. And I just want to say thank you to Janet for popping on and being here. So, hi, Janet.
Hello. It's nice to see you, Drew. I'm sorry it's such sad circumstances, though, as a memory of your mom. But your mom was a wonderful woman. She was kind and generous and funny and sweet.
I know, and she loved all of my friends. She loved you guys, and let's go down the list and say hello to everybody because we got a lot of ground to cover. Hi, Rita. Hi, Dwayne. Low spec Linux Gaming is in here. You switched up the laptop on me, low spec. So you went with the gaming, which is cool. Ruben is here. Hi, Ruben. Great to see you, buddy. We need to catch up soon. Medi, hail to you. Great to see you. And hail to everyone else that is popping in, watching on whatever device you happen to be watching on. If you wonder about my background, I'm living in a hotel, guys. It's the way things are right now. Some nights I have one, some nights I don't. This happens to be one of the nights I do. So thank goodness that I'm here and alive. That's all I can say. You know, it was important for me to come back and do the show because not only reconnecting with Janet, but we are just days away. Hey, Oladeka, great to see you, buddy. We are days away from the most important election in United States history, and that is not a stretch. That is an abject fact. You know, I don't have to tell you that you guys shouldn't be paying a modicum of attention to mainstream media anymore, because you're going to get facts from people like me, from people like Janet, from people like the Alex Jones Show, the Tucker Carlson, which he's had a wonderful show since he started doing his own thing on X. There is a ton of independent media rising up, a lot of people that are taking the initiative and bringing facts to our fellow citizens, because that's what's important. We need to get to the truth. And on a personal note, a sidebar, as up and down as my mental health's been and things of that nature, at times I was in a really dark place. I know this. You know, it's not only something I know that God's put in my heart, but it's the fact that, you know, I have always been, since you guys have met me, a truth seeker and a truth sharer and a truth teller. And that's what I need to do. And especially at this critical moment, all of our voices are needed. So, Janet, I think we'll start out with the fact that the Dominion machines, to nobody's surprise, are screwing up again. And you've got public officials giving out passwords to some of them. You've got other ones that won't let you select Trump. They'll let you select Harris. It defaults to Harris, even if you try to select on the screen a vote for Trump. I mean, the cheating this time is so blatant and in your face. It's undeniable. I don't even think these people care anymore if they get caught.
They don't, because they know that the judicial system's on their side right now. I mean, pretty much everyone's on their side if it's in the media because of this Munt Act. There's not much you can do except for have lots of money in the bank to keep paying for lawfare. I mean, I don't see any other way around it. That is one reason why we need to get Trump back in there, so he can start straightening out our judges and our courts.
Yeah. She's got my other cell phone, my girls, but she's at work right now. Hi, Athena. Hi, babe. I love you too. But yeah, you know, Cotton. You know, that's essentially what it is. But, you know, I think the bigger picture is what they're trying to do is run a chaos operation. All right. They know that you have a landslide here. Okay. They've already said, you know, that if you pay attention to Jamie Raskin's comment, and I know a number of you have seen it now, the video of that hopping around X. Janet, you probably know what video I'm referring to. Medi, Cotton, you guys have all seen it. Where Jamie Raskin says, you know, essentially, well, we're not going to transfer power peacefully. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what the guy says. There's going to be civil war conditions. They're not going to let the transfer of power go. And Medi just highlighted it right here. You know, they're not going to transfer power to Trump without a fight. They intend to not certify these election results, even if he wins. Now, we could get into the argument, and I know Cotton has been deeply black-pilled, so he'll be the first one to tell you the institution of voting may as well, you know, it's been burned to the ground a long time ago. It probably isn't going to make a difference in the long run because all of it goes back to banking clan money. It goes back to the WEF. They, you know, remember Klaus Schwab saying, you know, we're proud of the way we penetrate the cabinets. Well, you know, they have their leaders installed in every major country in the world. And they deeply, deeply, deeply want to hold on to power in the United States. So we are literally going to have to fight like hell to get Trump his presidency so that we can fix it on a, I guess, doing the people's will basis peacefully. But it's not going to happen. I really don't think they're going to let this happen, you guys. And I hate to say that because I early voted. You know who I voted for. I voted Trump Vance all the way. My wonderful lady.
Can I jump in?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
One of the things that I've brought up on my shit show is what my belief is what I was saying for the last 2 years that Biden wouldn't be on the ticket, and I got laughed at a lot, but I was right. The other thing I believe is that they were going to put Trump in jail or in prison. So after he's elected, which he will be by record numbers, I think, because they're not going to get away with as much cheating. And that's why Trump asked everyone to please vote early, is what I think is going to happen on the 26th of November. They're going to sentence him to prison. And that's when you're going to start seeing the uprising. And what I really think is going to happen is that, remember when you saw people changing clothes from one outfit to Trump wear? Remember that?
Yeah. When I was there, Janet, I saw that.
I know. I saw your live stream. But what I think this time is they're going to have mass amounts of people do that, and then they're going to take out Democrats, and we're going to get blamed for it. And that's going to be another way they're going to be able to say Trump is not fit to be president because he's causing the chaos. He's going to spiral us into chaos. So, and we have enough rhinos to pass the bill to where he will not be able to be president. That's what I think is going to happen. Not the people and not the cheating. It's going to be our own government that's going to turn against the people.
Oh, well, absolutely. You know, we proved it on J6 when they set up a honeypot to basically entrap half of the voting public. Okay, they demonize the voting public. And then on top of it, you know, we all know by now that it's a uniparty. I mean, come on. So, yes, my girl and I both voting Trump. That's great, and I hope to God it counts. And all of you in the chat that have voted or are about to vote, I hope that your votes count. But in the end, we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg. Okay. The false flags are incoming. Janet is spot on that analysis. The false flags are going to be coming fast and furious. You know, what are we going to see? I mean, you know, a lot of us, we've lived through the Oklahoma City bombing, 9/11, things like that. But we're going to get some big catastrophe on that scale, I can guarantee you. And it's going to be blamed on, quote, domestic terrorism.
Garbage. It's going to be blamed on the garbage. We used to be deplorables, but now we're garbage.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to blame it on us, Janet. They're going to blame it on patriots and the what used to be the middle class. Nate, do you know? And let's kick some reality here, folks. The housing crisis, you know, there shouldn't be a class of the, quote, working poor. There should be, if society is functioning correctly, a good, solid middle class. Okay? You shouldn't have record numbers of people living out of motels, having to live day by day and still be employed. It's ridiculous. The rents are out of sight. You can't afford the rent. Groceries are out of sight. You're paying $5 for a carton of eggs. Shout out, babe. I know you always point that out to people, so I'm using your fact, honey. But you shouldn't be paying those kind of prices. All these crises are handed to you by the Uniparty, and specifically the Democrat Party. But let's not absolve the rhinos of their portion of it. They're all generated in one place. And we all know where that ladder leads. It leads to the global elites, their corporations, and the whole 9 yards. Because who owns 88% of America? BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. They own 100% of America if you add in State Street. So, you know, it's ridiculous that American citizens, hardworking American citizens, are having to live through these conditions while they're housing up illegals in the ritzy hotels in the big cities. And you have people that are even worse off than me on this particular evening, you know, veterans and the like out in the streets. Thank God at least I have a temporary roof over my head. So, you know, let's make sure that we keep in clear focus what we're up against. Because we are up against a global death cult, the global cabal. And go ahead, Janet.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I am so glad that I moved to the Ozarks. That's all I can say. And I'm not in the big city. And I really feel for all the people that are going to be in the big cities, because it's not going to be in the same cities it was last time. You've seen over and over again how they've been, the Harris people have been busing in people to all the different venues. I think someone said, it was a show I watched, and they said they're tracking the cell phones. Just like they did with the January Sixers, basically. And you can tell that they're bussing in people, the same people over and over again to the different things to make it look like there's a big crowd of people at all her different functions. It's a a psych op type thing, but they're going to do the same thing. But they're not going to be taking them to like Spokane and places like that. They're going to trash red states. That's where the chaos is going to happen. And that's why I keep telling people, whatever happens, don't leave your home. Don't leave the people you care about the most alone, because I think that's what they're planning on. They want us to be out in numbers, upset in our trucks or whatever it is. And I don't know what they're going to do, but I really think that all of us are targets, the ones who didn't comply, getting the jab or wearing masks. We left our jobs so we wouldn't have to do those things. And I think that's how they're going to know who is not going to comply when it's time to put the screws on all of us to force us to do what they tell us to do and accept what they're going to do to Trump. They've already tried to kill him because they couldn't get rid of him. None of the lawfare and stuff worked. And I think that's why they postponed it, the sentencing stuff, and until after the election in the same month too. So I don't know. I'm really, really worried, but I've been praying a lot because God did intervene, from my belief, when he had Trump turn his head at the right second. And that's the reason why he's still alive.
Absolutely, he intervened. If we did not have our belief in the Lord and the strength that it gives us, the discernment that it gives us, we would be sunk right now. But thank God that we have that. And thank God that, people are waking up. The Great Awakening is happening. As much as they're pushing the Great Reset and they're trying to even get militant over the Great Reset, they're trying to plunge us into a world war, the whole 9 yards right now. The Great Awakening is happening, people. You've seen the blacks waking up, the Latinos waking up, the other groups waking up that say, hey, wait a minute, we've been taken advantage of. And people are starting to speak out more and more and more. You see the videos popping up every day on X, people starting to speak out. We have heroic doctors. And I want to say, one of them is in this chat, Adega, pointing out that, medically, there's a medical tyranny happening. And there's other heroic doctors pointing out that they're trying to enslave you via the vaccines and things that they're trying to push on you, because they create the diseases and then provide the cure. It's a double win for them. It's a loop. And it's all a show of, oh, we'll swoop in and save you now. But they created the problem. But people are waking up to the game. That is what's important. And I'm so proud to be friends with people that understand how the world works, that are freedom-minded. God bless you guys. I'm so glad, because we are in for a rough time. What Janet said is just 100% on point.
All you have to do is look at some of the things that are going on in all the states, like Colorado recently passing that law. I don't remember the name of it. I shared on my timeline state representative talking about it, saying that the Democrats voted against the strict law of making sure that a person that purchases a 1 to 5 year old to have sex with only gets a slap on the wrist. They won't put him in prison. They don't do anything. They hate our kids. They want to kill our kids. They want to own all our kids. They just want us to be a farmer and breed and have babies and hand them over to the elites and let them do whatever they want to. Disgusting as it sounds, it's real. All you have to do is get online and research some of these laws are passing that helps pedophiles get children. Everything they've done with this whole trans movement. I have transgender friends, but they're real transgenders. They actually have a dysphoria, and they had to go to psychotherapy for years, and then they had to live as the other gender for over a year before they're allowed to get hormones. That's a real diagnosis. A teacher or a counselor at school telling you or your child that they're a boy or a girl and that they need to get hormones, and then having them secretly mail them to them, that's all grooming. All that is child abuse. That's all it is. And they have made it acceptable to abuse children and get children to sterilize themselves by cutting off their testes, cutting off their breasts, and changing the girls' innards into outards, stuff like that. To ruin us, to stop us from being able to breed, and to stop all of our children from being able to have children. And most of them end up committing suicide when they realize that they're not really able to change sexes. It's in their mind. And it's horrible because these liberals are pushing this agenda on a daily basis.
Well, yeah, and it destroys their future lives because they don't realize it. Most of the time, these procedures sterilize them for life. Thank you, Adega, for being here. I appreciate you so much. It was great seeing you. But yeah, it's they don't realize that this sterilizes people for life. This affects you. Okay, you fundamentally change your body like that and disfigure and scar your body like that, there's going to be consequences. And, it's sad to see that push, but I truly believe that they've weaponized mental illness too. That's why you don't see a lot of properly equipped mental health for people, because they don't want people to get well.
They've also opened the borders to let other countries open their insane asylums and their prisons and let them wander over our border. And then they conveniently hand them airplane tickets and backpacks and money cards and sending them to specific states. Do you remember what states they were sending them to?
Oh, yeah, they've sent some here to Ohio, Janet.
Okay, in Ohio is a red state, right? They're sending them to Texas. They're sending them to most of the southern states, and very few to like Oregon and places like that. So that's why I'm saying it's gonna. I don't know. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. I really am. I'm praying to God to intervene somehow. But I'm worried that a lot of people on our side are going to get hurt trying to defend their families. And when you do something, you're going to be the first one on the chopping block. Let's say one of these people breaks into your house and tries to hurt you. Instead of protecting you, for protecting your family, you're going to be crucified. They've already proven what they're going to do to you. January 6th was just a test.
Oh, well,
That's
yeah. Whether it's here in a hotel, whatever, somebody comes for, my animals or the woman I love, I'm gonna go full Michael Myers on them. They're done. Whatever the consequences, And they've weaponized the judicial system, so they're gonna take that. They're trying to gaslight people into doing things like that, but doing it on offense so that they can blame them first.
Just like I said, I really do believe they're going to use all this rhetoric that they've been using, that we're Nazis, we're garbage, we're deplorables, we hate Hispanics, we hate blacks, we hate everyone basically, and we just want to kill everyone and get rid of them because we like Trump. For anyone with common sense doesn't believe that. That's why you're having more and more people standing up and fighting for what they believe in, and it's freedom, because they're not falling for this rhetoric anymore. Their eyes are opening. But some people, as you can see, they're still driving around in their cars with masks on, things like that. And I feel bad for these people. They've been programmed into thinking they're going to be sick, and because I didn't get a jab, I'm trying to kill them. And it's sad.
I know. But like what gaslighting does to people, it can really screw with someone's head, and they proved it. It gets more and more bizarre. Like, through the evolution of this program, you guys, and it because I've been here for it, Janet's been here for it, Will, God rest his soul, has been here for it, for a lot of that early time of resistance. We've sat here and we've observed these school shootings, everything else. That MK Ultra shit is alive and well. We don't even know the half of the sinister programs that they have been running, all the operations that the intelligence agencies have run on the American people. They are guilty of so many crimes against humanity. It's not even funny. All right. All of this stuff is still in play. You go back all the way to the 70s, the Manson murders, things like that. Where'd the hippie movement go? It went like that as soon as the Manson murders happened. Why? And Candace Owens actually pointed this out. Why? Because basically they wanted to have everyone believe that there were, just a bunch of deranged serial killers running around, when in all actuality, they were programming them like robots to affect this desired outcome. They wanted to squash any peace movement because guess what? Then they have an open road to push war.
That's why every time they get a shooter, like the few that's tried to take Trump out, and then some, and the school shooters have all been known by the FBI and Homeland Security. They were known, well, probably because they've already been talking to them and helping them push their agenda.
Mm-hmm. And I've long since held the belief that the shooters now, Janet, that you just talked about, are a lot of times produced in a secret program with mind-altering substances in conditioning. I really do feel like that.
Yeah, but the hard thing, the thing is that it's harder and harder for them to do it undercover, because within hours or a day after the shooting the shooter tried to shoot Trump in Butler, videos were coming out showing him in a commercial for BlackRock. So it's getting harder and harder for them to cover up. That's why I think they're just blatantly doing it in public, because they don't really care anymore. They feel they're untouchable. They think they're going to get away with it, because guess what? They did in 2020.
Yep.
So because they did get away with it, that why not use the same tactics they've used before? It worked. And look at all the courts. I mean, 34 counts against Trump. I mean, come on. I've signed many non-disclosure agreements. So is it now legal for people to get a non-disclosure with someone that you're in business with? Because now they can use it against you in court, put you in prison for who knows how long. But you can molest a kid and don't even go to jail. You can molest or rape a kid at 1 in 5 years old in Colorado, and you don't even go to jail for it. That's disgusting. That's what the whole world, our country, is going to be like if these people win. Our lives are never going to be the same.
Yep. One Man Show says, I received a happy reminder from my pharmacist today that the latest, greatest vaccine is available for free and with no appointment necessary. How nice was that? You know, and yeah, get those thrown in your face every time you walk in a store with the pharmacy. They have all those big things right there. Oh, vaccines available, blah, blah, blah. You know, my girl, she's a smart cookie. She refuses to go get a flu shot now because, you know, she knows they're no bueno. I won't get a flu shot. I won't get, obviously, I won't get a COVID jab. I won't get none of that shit. You know, we know they're trying to get us through that. And if they don't get us through that, Janet, you know this, they're starting to shoot up the cattle and the poultry and everything else so that we get it one way or the other.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to stop people like me from being able to have my own chickens. They're trying to close up all the farmers markets. They don't want you to grow your own vegetables. They want you to get everything through the government. And that's why they're forcing people into the 15-minute cities. What do you think is going to happen if they do what I think they're going to do, and they're going to put Trump in prison? As soon as they do that and the people start fighting back, they're going to round you up. They're going to put you in a FEMA camp. Okay, your whole family, and separate you from your children, because the children can still be taught something. You cannot. And then they're going to take all your property. And they're going to give it to the people that are complying. So you will own nothing and be happy. Exactly what they've always been saying.
Yep. That good old Klaus Schwab formula. God. Well, all I can say is we need to be smart. We need to try to do everything the legal way first. Because in the end, I do believe that we're peaceful people. But, you know, when there's no alternative left and you have to defend your home, you have to defend your family, then, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And I truly believe that, you know, no matter what, that, hey, Tree Rock, how you doing, bud? That we are going to have a lot of chaos and a lot of bad before we get any good come out of it. And I hope that we get President Trump in there safely, because I do believe he's put together a great team. But at the same time, I'll believe it when I see it, because if it's able to happen, great. And if not, then look, I'm just going to put it out there. You know, we're going to have to go back to the Second American Revolution, because that's what it's going to take to free ourselves. And that's not a stretch, folks. That's the real Yep. Tree Rock, you're exactly right. There is a lot of legal terrorism happening. I don't know, Janet, you agree with me?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you've said. But the only thing is, I hate to say it, but I have to leave. I've got to go get my costume and stuff on for my Halloween special tonight, and it's gonna take
Well,
me a while.
let folks know like what time it's gonna be and where they can watch
It's
it
gonna
and
start at
everything else.
8. It starts at 8 p.m. tonight, and we're going to be talking about. I'm trying to take everybody's mind off of politics, at least for a few hours. I got some scary videos about ghost stories, haunted towns, things like that. And I'm going to have a few guests on. They're going to talk about their own experiences with something scary or creepy that's happened to them. So it should be a lot of fun. And hopefully, it helps some people have a good Halloween. But that's it.
If you get a slot open, Janet, I've got that great story that I've told before on Midnight Prism, but I'll tell my ghost story if you've got the time. If you want me on there, just shoot me a link.
Okay, I will. I don't know for sure. I think I have 4 right now, and we'll see.
No,
I'm
no
talking to
problem.
one girl. She's never done anything like this before. She's kind of nervous, and I told her she'd have to go on camera. So we'll see how she does.
You know, I remember once upon a time when you were that, and now look at you. You're a bona fide all-star, huh?
Well, I'm doing it. I told you I do it. I only do things that I want to do, and that I'm thankful for a little bit that I have, and I have gotten in trouble quite a bit from YouTube. I've even had my channel taken down for 3 weeks because they don't like what I talk about. But I try to have as much fun as I can, and try to share the truth. That's it. That's what
Now,
I
of course, they don't like what we talk about, Janet. You know, God, look how they've gone after Wes. They've gone after you. They've gone after me. You know, thankfully, because of life circumstances and having to lay low, guys, I was lucky that I dodged my channel getting taken down. You know, they really put it on Janet, Wes, and some other of our friends. So, you know, we just got to keep telling the truth no matter what. Because YouTube's in on it, because Google's in on it. I'm kind of laughing, that Russia just dropped it on Google that they're fining them more than the highest amount of money in the world, which is hilarious.
Well, I hope they learn their lesson. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
It's just funny to me. I got in trouble. I aired a program and I had a little cartoon at the beginning. It was Team Shit Show 2.0, and I had KT Truther on as my guest.
mhm.
She's from New Orleans, and I had a cartoon that opened, and it was all about uh, fake babies, aborted fetuses, talking about how they died and that they harvest their organs and what vaccine they were going to make with them, their body parts. And they took the video down and told me I was a cyber bully. But guess what? It's still up on her channel because she aired it from mine. So I think it's funny how they take one person down and they don't take the other ones. So
Well, and that's what they do, Janet. They just go, I think, and try to target people that they deem problematic. They really do. And I think part of it too is some of it is AI generated, and I think it just blanket just bans you based on different criteria because time and again we've seen it happen with Tommy where he's essentially showed you that YouTube just uses AI to target people because they've done that with some of his stuff in suppressing Tommy. So,
But thank you very much for letting me hang out for a little bit. And you have a wonderful night. And God bless your mom.
Well, we'll catch up. We'll catch up soon. I got a lot to tell you, Janet, and take care of yourself. All right. Well, folks, as I said, and big thanks to Janet from Another Planet, one of the originals, one of the OGs here on United Resistance, for coming through and adding to the show. You know, she's one of the OG pillars of this show. So she's always welcome. And as I said, I want to make this a more consistent program. It's just life. And as I was explaining to you before, you know, the homeless end of the crisis, I'm living by the seat of my pants, surviving day by day. So it's kind of crazy to try to plan anything days ahead. So when I get the opportunity, I am going to try to do this more, because it's paramount to have as many voices out there as possible. Hail to the awesome one. Great to see you, my friend. Medi, thank you. Appreciate it. And if anyone wants to help, all right, I have a Give, Send, Go going. Obviously, it's rough. I need they have a hard time keeping food in the house, things like that. You know, I'm trying to do what I can do to bring some money in, doing some odd jobs, doing some Uber here and there. You know, but we've got a very, very limited fixed income. It has been, frankly, hell since I lost my apartment. You know, it's directly goes back to the manufactured housing crisis that I told you about. They want us poor and they want us to die. That's what it boils down to. So givesendgo.com/Operation Drew House. I believe we set the goal at $2,600. We've made $260 so far. So we're basically at 10%. So if anybody wants to help, givesendgo.com/Operation Drew House. The link is pinned in the YouTube chat. Well, this is episode 3 of what I like to call the more streamlined United Resistance, the United Resistance podcast, I'm calling it these days. Kind of like a reboot, but not. The awesome one says they're building like crazy near us. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of new building pop up, bro. They are targeting new construction to throw people into the people that they prefer into new ritzy housing. You know, I don't think we get into enough the population replacement side of this, where we've outlived our usefulness. So they're literally replacing the population with those from other countries. Hail to Cotton. Welcome back, buddy. Great to see you. Well, and let me say this. Obviously, pay attention to your X feeds because I honestly do believe that it's one of the last good places for news, and especially if you want to dodge the mainstream media, the way to go about it is to try and get news on there. Yes, it's going to have its misinformation, but you're going to get good information as well. So I would say watch your X feeds in the coming days. A lot of things get reported that you don't see. It won't see the light of day on anything on your television. So, you guys know that. Pay attention to the trusted sources that you follow, independent voices. Independent is where it's at. Right now is the rise of independent media. Let's keep that momentum going so that we have a voice of truth at all times. And aside from that, I will continue to do these live streams when I can. Worst comes to worst, I'll do a pre-recorded episode and drop them on a certain day. And I will also try to continue to do, videos here and there, some shorts. I know I've popped some short videos up every so often on my YouTube. So keep an eye on my channel for stuff like that. But as I said, I do apologize for being hit and miss. It's been a long gap since episode 2 of this program until this episode. But I'm trying my best. It's very hard with the life circumstances right now and trying to claw my way back up to where I can live consistently and breathe a sigh of relief. But I'm trying to do my best, guys, So all I can say is thank you to you guys for believing in me. And I thank you for your love, your prayers, your friendship. And I will do my best to be around more. You can bet that I will try to get another episode up. Well, if I can do something for the election Tuesday, I'll try to do something for the election Tuesday. We'll see. I think I'll reach out to Wes and we'll go from there and see if I can't collab with him on election night. So let me see what he says. And if not, I'll do some election coverage on my channel if I have the opportunity. So just pay attention to my channel, pay attention to my X feed, and thank you again. If any of you, as I said, can reach out and help, and thank you, Rita, for the compliment. Great to see you and Dwayne here. If any of you can help or get the word out or even share this, as I said, it's givesendgo.com/Operation Drew House. If I can raise the goal or get close to the goal, it'll at least give me a chance to get back on my feet just a little bit. At least give me a jump start anyway. So I thank you all for your time. I thank you all for your support. Thank you for continuing to support my channel, even though I've been on hiatus quite a bit and I've been hit and miss. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. God bless you. I love you. Thank you for the kind words about Mama Heretic. And thanks for providing, frankly, some company, because this is a rough day. So I appreciate it. Real quick, where you guys go, if you're getting ready to go hand out that candy and things like that on the Halloween end of things, it's trick or treat night. So don't be that house that hands out the cowtails or the, like nasty stuff. Just be the cool house that hands out the nerds, the starbursts, the Milky Ways, the Reese cups, the actual candy people like. And if you're doing fairly good for yourself, well, I don't know. Do people hand out Ferrero Rocher? I don't think so, but we'll see. Yeah, I know. One man show. The price of chocolate's ridiculous. The Starburst is still fairly cheap, though. I've seen Starburst reasonable still. And Twinkies are still reasonable, but Twinkies just suck these days. They're not the same Twinkies you and I grew up with. But all right, folks, have a good Halloween, a good trick or treat. If you're into the spirit, kick back, watch some scary movies. And if you have an adult Halloween, kick back, have a glass of wine, a scary movie, and then get scary in a private place. Until next time, folks, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Be the patriots that you are. I love you all. And God willing, let freedom ring across the world. Until next time, guys, this is the Patriot Journalist Drew T, a.k.a. Supreme Heretic, signing off. Have a good night.